Packers defeat the Bears 27-10. I'm recording this about 6 hours after the game ended. And I think we all expected us to win, to bounce back. And I think that's like why I'm not as satisfied as I was. Just because, we're expected to win this game. It's the Bears. They're not that good of a team this year. I think next week is really, like, if we win that game, I'm going to be satisfied. Then I know that this team is going to be all right. But the offense still has yet to find their number one wide receiver, and I wasn't expecting them to find it this game, but I thought that, or I at least hope that Watson or Dobbs would step up, and that still didn't happen today. Not that they got that many opportunities, which is a shame. But yeah, we didn't see Rodgers look at Watson's away at all. I think Dobbs had one catch, but besides that, it was all Jones and Dillon. I've been saying all last year that Dillon was better than Jones and was going to continue to be better than Jones, and I don't know if I would take that back. I think as a pure rusher, Dillon is still better, but I don't know. Jones still showed that he had a lot in him, and one of the main reasons why I thought that Dillon was better than Jones is just that Jones, he didn't have that great of a year last year. I know that he was injured, but running backs, they lose a lot of their luster as they go older, and I'm pretty sure Jones is already like 27, something like that. But yeah, I mean, at this point, I don't even know. Jones had a great game. Dillon had a solid game. He had 61 yards rushing. In the passing game, Watkins did pretty well. He had 93 yards. I think it was like a 50-yard bomb in the fourth quarter. I think that's how long it was. That was really, from the first 2 weeks, that was really the only huge chunk play we've gotten. And that's what concerns me the most. There's really no explosiveness on the offense besides the running game, which, we've going into the season with Adams gone. That's what we were expecting to carry the offense, is the running game. And that's what happened this game. I'm just hoping that Christian Watson or Dobbs can step up and kind of get those explosive plays, because I like Lazard. He had 13 yards and a touchdown this game. I just don't think he has the talent to be that number one wide receiver. I mean, he is the number one wide receiver right now, but like the standout number one wide receiver, if you understand what I'm saying. And yeah, I just don't. I mean, Watkins, he's injury prone. He still has, he showed what he can do today. He's 93 yards. But yeah, like we've all been saying, Jones and Dillon, they're going to be the focus of this offense for a while. And we just got to pray that one of these guys in the wide receiver corps steps up. As for the defense, I was concerned at first because they let up a pretty pitiful drive on the first play or first possession of the Bears. Ever since then, they stepped up. I wouldn't say they were like great. They let the Bears get into the red zone quite a bit, but they held them to a field goal. And I'm pretty sure it was like 3 straight possessions where they forced a 3-and-out. Then they let them inside the red zone again, and they got a huge goal line stop, which was controversial. There was a couple of bad calls going against the Bears, but I mean, that's football. I don't think it would have like had much of a difference if the calls went the Bears' way. But yeah, I actually do think Fields got the touchdown there, but there is not, like, I mean, it's the rules. Like, if there's not enough to overturn it, then you shouldn't overturn it, and the refs did a good job there. I think he got over, but there wasn't enough to overturn it, so, I mean, yeah, they made the right call. Besides that, I mean, we held Justin Fields to, I think it was just, he was 7 for 11 and 70 yards and an interception. The interception, I mean, that was just garbage time. It doesn't really matter, but Jair had an amazing diving. I don't even know how he cut up to, I think it was I don't know who he's got covering. I think it was Komet, but yeah, amazing diving interception. Fields had a am I rating this right? 6.7 QBR. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so that's not great. Rodgers, on the other hand, he was 19 for 25, 234 yards, 2 touchdowns. Rodgers said in his interview after the game that, like, the stats don't really show it all. He said he didn't play that great, and he missed a couple of throws here and there. But again, it's just like with his wide receiver core, he's gonna have to rely on his running backs, not only rushing but in the receiving game too. Jones had 38 yards receiving, so he was the second leading receiver besides Watkins that game. So offense and defense, I would say they were pretty competent this game. There's nothing special on either side, but it's the Bears. We got the win. I think next week that's obviously a huge game. I don't think they're gonna win. They struggle in Tampa Bay, Florida. Just I feel like any hot weather place, they just shit their pants. And obviously the Bucs are a good team. I don't think they're going to win, but if they do, then I'm going to be really happy, and I'm going to have a lot of faith in this team. I already do, but my number one concern is this wide receiver core, and that's for pretty much every Packers fan out there. I really hope the defense steps up next week. I didn't even mention the special teams, which was once again serviceable. They had a couple of really good punts compared to last week where, they weren't bad, but they almost had 2 blocked punts, which was not great. And then Amari Rodgers somehow is still returning for us. He had him off punt. I swear every single time that this guy is returning the ball, I cringe so hard. I just cannot. It's going to happen. This is what happened last year. Matt LaFleur did not. We just did not fire Drayton, and that ended up costing us in the playoffs. Same thing is going to happen here. Amari Rodgers, he already botched a punt here. It's going to happen later in the year, and it's going to cost us a game. I just mark my words. Besides, on a brighter side, though, the kick return, how would I say this? The defensive side of returning kicks was good. We got a couple of stops, I think, behind the 20-yard line, which was nice, and obviously the field goal unit didn't have an unblocked defender, which is a first. So yeah, I think every side of the ball was competent. No side of the ball was like outstanding so far in the season. So we're gonna have to wait till next week. A huge game coming up. Just hopefully defense balls out and shuts down Brady. But yeah, that's pretty much it.